Fuck
Nick?
that guy.
Yep.
Wow.
We'll start
Oh.
without him.
I'm here.
No,
Almost
when
like
Jay
you.
gets here, we can start.
I'm here.
None
Who knows?
of you played along. Fuck you all.
God, bitch.
Captain was spacing out.
All right, so where we left off, Jeremy just maybe murdered a dude.
It did.
Dom didn't check to see if his pulse was good. He checked his pockets.
That's right.
Straight for the pockets. Okay, well, I guess if there's nothing else here, we can go back upstairs.
Robert's gonna ask, did Thor, because Thor's still conscious, right?
Yeah, he threw up and is asking you all to be quiet.
He's gonna be like, hey, before we leave, were you affiliated with those fellas down there in the dining room?
Please. Upstairs dining room? Because we're in the basement, you fucking...
Upstairs, sorry.
fucking throws up again. After he covers himself, I mean, boss was up there, but... Please stop talking to me.
Alright, yeah.
Something about an orb, yeah.
Robert's gonna say, alright, you have a good time.
He kind of just waves you on, not even looking at you.
Where did the orb go? He took it to the...
Glern took it.
Glern took it to the...
Glern took the urn to the shore.
To the sugar.
The orb.
Herb to the sugar.
To the
The
shore.
orb from the pit.
Yeah.
Alright. Should we track this orb?
If we can.
This castle and maybe go to the lake shore?
Yeah.
Captain, is that what the God of the Winds artifact is? It's an orb.
I think so. Maybe.
And didn't you go to
You went to CCD
I
or
just-
whatever it's called.
I told you I was asleep for a lot of BSR.
You don't remember
Sorry.
if it was the shape of the object?
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think you're confident in saying.
Yes, 100% guaranteed.
Brady, what did I find in the guy's pockets? Because I went over to Orion to talk to him for something right before we did a break, and I don't remember what it was for.
Oh yeah,
That,
the
It was the
little-
note that I put in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was gonna ask you if you could read this music
Oh, the note. Yeah.
and play this
Yeah.
song.
and we found it before, right? Or we
Yeah.
found one that's the same.
Yeah, I
Oh,
had
is it the
found
same?
one previously. Yeah, whenever we had first jumped those other guys, I had found this same note on him, which is kind
Yeah.
of strange that we
It's
would find it
identical,
again.
like all the notes are the same,
Yeah.
or is
Yeah.
it pieces of a song maybe like put together?
It's identical.
It's
Okay.
identical.
If you pull it up.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Yeah, and I had looked at it, but I don't recognize this tune. All I know is that I would need to bust out my piccolo if I wanted to play this. And I don't have a piccolo.
Oh, Piccolo's to be found, huh?
Nope.
It does start really high. Jesus, what is that like? C, D, above high C? What? Who scored this?
Orion, do you have a Krillin?
Do I have what?
Never mind.
I try to play it on my oboe.
Oh, your oboe.
What's an oboe sound like? Extremely high.
Sounds really bad. It's just me yelling into my oboe. It's just me screaming.
All right.
Okay.
Let's.
We've done all we can for these drunk people.
Yeah. I
Might
was,
have even killed one.
he's
Yeah,
fine. Just going up and down, just dropping down to go around the stairs again.
Wait, I have a question about that note. Above like the little thumbprint, is that like a signature? What is that?
Unsure.
Looks like a
Uh,
P.
Yeah, it does. That's kind of strange. Would I recognize that?
As what?
I don't know, like as a musical, like a composer's signature that they would leave on their music?
You can do a check if you would like. Perhaps something between history or insight.
Yeah, let me throw a history. See if I notice anything. Well, I got a nat 6, which is a 9.
Nice.
Okay. It doesn't seem to spark any memories for you for like a music background.
Got it. Weird. Okay, I put it in my pocket.
So you come back up to this main floor. What's y'all's plan?
You guys,
We should see if Sparrow or Janelle know anything about this orb, and then we can head on further from their house to the shoreline. The shore to see if we can find it.
think we're done clearing this place out.
So I don't remember if I showed you this. Can you see this?
Yeah.
As you head out and make your way back towards the house that you left Janelle and Sparrow in, this is your view of the lake again. And so you head back down to the right, up the hill towards the path you came back from, towards that last standing, not last standing, but that standing house that you left them in.
Did we have a secret knock? I can't remember.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
I
I
don't think so.
vaguely
either.
remember somebody saying something like that, or like a password maybe.
I remember
Maybe a
with a funky
password.
little like knock.
Yeah, do a weird one and say hello.
Or Captain could just break the door down again.
I think I
No,
can break the
we're
door.
running out of doors. We're running out of doors.
I break the door down.
No.
Captain, no!
No.
Can I do it?
No.
No, wait, guys, I got something.
Somebody
A key?
stop him!
No,
He has a
wait.
key.
I have a. Oh no, I don't have. Never mind. I don't break it down.
Actually, you know what? I have a mending cantrip.
I did.
So,
I went to go. I did not get it though. I changed one of mine, but I didn't change it to that.
I got one. So if you break it down, I'll fix it.
With Alder in the back mentioning, as you all are debating on like how to methodically break this door down and put it together, Alder in the back was like, "We had a key, right?" Sparking your memory that in fact you do have a key that goes to this house.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
You
That's
like
what it was.
put your
That's
hand.
the key.
Everyone check their pockets.
Millie, check all 900 of your pockets.
One of you finds the key. I don't remember who had it specifically.
And
And
Put
yeah,
your-
so you go inside.
It stops me like right before I charge in.
Let me
hello.
see.
How are
I
you
think I
guys
left
here?
you on one of
Any-
these. And I can't remember if you left them in this specific house with these people or if you went to the next one, but they look the same. I think you went to the next one.
Is that them?
No.
Oh.
But upstairs, where they said they would wait for you, is your two friends they left before.
So we all walk in half drunk.
Do I have any cheese fries?
So last that they saw you, you were going to go hopefully save the town, rescue some people, or die. What they come back from is you all stumbling in a little too loud as you like are debating on breaking down the door, refixing it, or like, don't we have a key? You come stumbling up the stairs, and you loud drunkards are now in front of these two people, one of which who, as you correctly remember, is missing their grandfather, the other of which whose neighbor's house are being burnt down.
Good evening, ladies.
Good morrow.
What time is it?
It's like 2, 3 a.m., something like that.
Good morning.
Good morning.
They're kind of like rubbing their eyes out and like, oh my god, good morning. Like the sun's not even up yet. Are you drunk?
No.
No.
We're like
It-
still like beat up from that fight and we're
Right.
drunk.
Yeah, we haven't rested or anything. We're like,
Where?
Like bullshit. You all look so insanely drunk. Did you raid the Mainers and its wine cellar?
We got cards.
Oh, so you know about the wine cellar?
It's a ceremonial building. You raided
No,
the
there-
wine cellar when you were going there to save the town in the first place. Did you even find anybody?
Yeah.
Did you save?
Blend
Did you
in.
save one person?
We had to blend
The wine
in.
cellar was already raided.
We were just helping.
Robert
Kinda-
says like we may have killed some people.
She puts Janelle behind her and she's you.
There was.
I
Okay,
offered you my place before, but you're making me doubt this.
Listen, Linda. Listen. What do you know about an orb?
Well, this town has an orb up in the manor from which I think you just came from, and it's a blessing of the gods, helps maintain the sails on the sea, and it's basically why we stay afloat as a city. Why?
Hmm.
It's
Mhm.
gone.
Okay.
It's gone?
All right. Now
Let me
everybody
guess.
stay calm.
You were
Stay
just a
calm.
little too drunk to help it.
No, it was gone
It's gone
before
when
we
we
were
arrived.
there.
Hey, I lift up like my like little shirt and show her like where I was like attacked. Listen, like we did try to go there to fight those guys who took over the town,
We
but
did
they ended
that.
up getting away, and we think they took the orb with them.
One of them blew up.
One of them blew up.
It did blow up.
One of them happened to fall off a stool and maybe hit his head.
That unrelated.
Unrelated.
One was executed in the hallway getting silverware, but
Unrelated.
also
Unrelated.
Assassinated. I'm more like it.
I just want you all to picture this happening at the same time. Like while
Yeah.
like
Overload.
like you just hear Millie in the background, like unrelated. In the foreground, you hear people just listing off the murders you did. One dude hit his head. One dude exploded in front of us, and one guy was killed. And assassin, he was assassinated in the home. Unrelated.
Unrelated.
And just what a mess you all are.
Can we have a place to stay?
Can we crash?
You can tell there's just like pinching their eyebrows, like, oh, like I want to see you gone tomorrow.
We have
And
silver. We have silver to give you.
we will leave tomorrow.
I heard you talking about fixing doors, so go
Yeah.
back to my place,
Yeah.
fix my door,
Yeah.
and do not ever come back. Come tomorrow.
Okay. Deal. Will there be breakfast included?
Oh my gosh, I don't want to see you. Granted,
Okay.
I will wake up with the sun, and if I come over and you are still there, breakfast will be included for my chickens.
Okay. All right. Deal.
That sounds pretty good
So
though.
about the chickens.
Yeah.
Can we eat those? Or those fair game?
Do you
or-
have a
I actually
nugget?
have chickens. It's a saying.
Okay. All right.
Do you have a
I
Sunday
get it.
machine?
Okay.
McFlurry?
Millie's scared of the dark, but she's willing to go fix the door with her little cell that she has. If someone comes with her. 'Cause she
Yeah,
doesn't work.
we'll walk down.
Okay. All right. We walk next door, and Millie just kind of like taps on the door a little bit, and it melds together, and they fix her door.
On the way there, I'm listing off like I could go for some fries, maybe some like nuggets.
So back at her house, you fix the main door.
Yeah.
And you come in. I'll go ahead and reveal it all. You check out the 2 rooms, and there's enough beds for 1, 2, 3, 4 of you, 5 if you do this as a double bed. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, someone will have to share a bed or sleep on like a rug or something.
Captain
I was just say, yeah, give Robert like some blankets and rugs, dude. He'll curl up.
I was gonna say
Or you
Captain
can do
walks
something else.
upstairs and just face plants onto the like bear rug.
Yeah, if y'all want to tell me how you're collapsing, what you're doing, if you're doing water cycles, all that jazz.
There's no food here.
Wait.
Yeah, there's food on the table. There's food on. There's like snacks and cheese and like wine down here.
Yeah.
Sorry, up there. And
But
down
cheese
here,
fries.
it seems like a meal was interrupted, and there's like cut vegetables over there.
Philly cheese fries?
Sparrow, we can't make Sparrow any more mad. We might as well take her.
Yeah, we'll leave her some money for it for sure.
Yeah,
I
you-
mean, you hire a bunch of people from out of town that you don't even know, and you say, "Hey, fix this town." What does she
Yeah,
expect?
maybe that's a you issue.
Yeah. Come on.
Well, hold
Millie-
on. Let's not all kind of jump on her.
Millie grabs a hunk of bread and stumbles over to the first bed she sees, which is this one over to the left.
yeah, I'm
Where
up-
did,
up
Captain's on the bear rug.
here. Yeah.
Alright. Alder's just gonna go to this chair. Just conk out in that chair.
Wait. Okay, so
Robert can be like Orion. I mean, you can have the big bed. I don't care. It's up there for you. You can take it.
Orion puts his hand up, he puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, That's what I was expecting."
Of course it's mine.
I did all the work today.
And then he goes upstairs.
And then Robert will just find an extra bed. He's like, I still have a bed to sleep on. That's fine. He's like, that's cool.
Hear loud snoring from Captain. Like right outside the door, you just hear loud snoring.
It's beautiful. So how effective do you all think you would be at waking up in the morning? Do you want to like roll con saves, or
I
do
would
you feel
say,
confident?
Yeah, baby.
Elves only sleep for 4 hours
Yeah.
normally, so I'm sure all the elves can get up.
yeah, I was gonna
Yes.
say after my 4 hours, like it's
Okay.
like a passed out trance this time.
Yeah, I guess elves don't technically sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all feel good, and then the rest of you, you can decide. So Millie and Robert, right? You're the only non-elf. You can decide how groggy you are. They wake you up at the brink of dawn, just as Sparrow asked you to leave at.
Millie is pretty hungover, but she rifles around in her apron for a couple of different vials, and she just starts shooting them back, hands one over, and says, "Here, this will help with the hangover."
Media.
Like
Right?
espresso in there.
Yeah, yeah. And a mix of espresso and Pedialyte and just straight cilantro oil.
That's cilantro oil.
Just
Delicious.
Beautiful. So you all kind of get your bearings, and yeah, the day is seemingly yours.
Mm.
Is that
Go
a full
find some
rest?
orbs, boys.
how can we track the orb?
Herb?
Wait, that was a long rest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
cool. I need everything.
Oh,
Got
beautiful.
it.
I was hurt. Yeah, how do we? I mean, there's no one around to ask.
Well, let's go to the shore because they said that's what.
We
Does
could
this
ask,
town have an inn or a pub? Those are always out.
we could ask Sparrow.
Well, everything got
No,
burned.
we're not
Captain
gonna-
doesn't remember.
Yeah, maybe we could just see what we see at the docks, right? We said we
Yeah.
saw a boat missing earlier. Maybe we can see what the others. If we could take one of the others.
And we
Yeah.
can see.
Oh.
I mean, it looks like we passed some buildings on the way to the dock. If we notice anything, we can stop in.
I just know
Yes.
Glorn took their old.
Learn? Learn and learn?
Learn and
I think we
learn.
killed Learn.
Or to the shore.
Learn.
We killed Learn, but Learn.
We killed one of them.
So if you all are heading down to the shore, yeah, you can take this backpack. I'll just quickly change your map one more time. Keep it throwing you around.
Hey.
You can come down this way. There's a side path here, and then you come out behind. And so as you're walking through, This is where you were up here. This is where you got kicked out of. This is the house you just stayed in.
Hmm?
This is the one that burnt down. You make your way down, and this is this smithing house, as you can presume.
The one we stayed
And
in, was it like just slightly on fire and we just slept with it on fire?
it was, yeah. The roof up on this side was catching fire.
Just like, this is fine.
But you're able to make your way down, and again, the streets are bare. The sun's coming up, so you can see basically everything now. Though, you can see that the smithery is like no longer lit. It's very quiet around. Instead of a typical inn structure, you see like a market in the middle, which is empty and ransacked, and some even burnt to the ground. And then this would be the closest dock to you all.
Is there any use in checking for other survivors, or we just move on?
I mean, we did shout and check while everything was burning last
Yeah.
night. I think, can we see from where we are if there's a boat at that closest dock?
This closest dock is the one that
That's
does
the one
not
that's
have a
missing.
boat.
Is there,
Yeah.
are there any signs that there was a boat there recently that maybe was very quickly,
That away.
yeah, like cut away from some ropes tied to the moorings or anything?
Yeah, if you want to give me a perception check.
Recently, 8 hours ago, give or take.
Yeah.
10.
You don't see any sign that would cause suspicion. It's somewhere along the lines of things done properly, just lazily. And so, if you're with a hypochondriac eye, you could be like, "Oh my gosh, this isn't perfectly tied up." But if you're a realist, then you'd be okay.
I wonder if our good friend Glern might have tried going, boating across the other side. Because on the other side of this, hold on, let me pull up the map. Are there woods on the other side? It's just like surrounded by mountains, I think.
My image went
It
away.
looks
Let me pull it up
like-
on Discord.
Is that Herman Lake? Harmon Lake. Oh, Harmon Lake.
It's like a field icon at the bottom underneath lake.
Oh, okay.
There are
it's just
boats
like a little
here,
field.
so I mean, we could try it and just see
Yeah.
what's over on the adjacent shore.
Hmm.
The Mid-Tera shore.
And while you all are now looking like, with a keen eye towards both where the boats were and the water scientist also wouldn't post Squidward, you notice that there's something odd for your experiences with water. In this region, on a day like today, you could notice like the water swell and rise on the shore next to you. But for you all, instead you notice it's pulling from left to right, and it's a constant low down here, and you can visually see a high up on that side, and just kind of a current ripping from that
Oh.
direction.
Like a
Hmm.
like a moon tide.
Exactly, like a very strong moon tide. Not disrupting really anything on the edge of the lake. It's just very obvious to you from where you're standing.
Maybe we should take a boat to where
Boat
that
on
swell
over
is.
there,
Yeah, because that looks like it looks like it would be hard to take the boat in any other direction on this lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Follow the natural order of the water.
I know how to sail very well.
Oh, did you learn that in PSR?
Do you remember those jokes or those references?
Yeah. What? PSR? What?
You made it up last night. I don't remember.
It's like actually called something else, and I was just saying it wrong.
Anyway, Alder climbs onto one of the boats.
Yeah, so let's go to the second. Is it the second dock that has boats?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you were here, and now
Yeah.
you're going down here. And
Okay.
there's a little rowboat you can take out. By little, I mean it's uniquely made so that it can have like a cargo in its base, to which you all sit on top of and have space for A, rowing, and B, there's notches in the wood for you to put like several fishing poles at once. And you're able to sit in and kind of like a college row team. Like you have your ability to row.
Millie, you were on the row team, right?
Oh yeah.
At Mid-Tera State?
At Mid-Tera State University.
Do you think I learned how to drink
Yeah.
like this?
Yeah. The rowing team.
Go fighting trees.
I love that
Trees.
Millie is from a university.
She's educated.
Where do you think she got all this herb knowledge? It was innate.
So you all are getting on the boat,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and how are you maneuvering it? Like, what are you trying to do here?
Millie takes a comfortable seat right in the middle, not within arm's reach of any oars. That way everybody else kind of has to grab an oar.
But you were on the team, right?
Yeah, but that was in my prime. Not anymore.
Your prime. How old are you?
I'm 30 now.
I see.
Long
I-
arm.
I understand.
What do elves do at 30? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my elementary years.
I'm
Yeah.
not much of a rower, but I'll play us a tune.
I sit in the
Okay.
middle to like grab both sides.
Robert, Captain, it looks like it's us, Rowan.
Robert says, all right.
With the Rowan, are you just like putting yourself out to let the tide take you? Are you rowing a specific spot? What you doing?
I mean,
I think we just go where that water is, like
Yeah,
jetting to
pulling.
the other side, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
And
I
then
think-
it'll take us over there.
yeah, in case we find something we don't want to row toward,
Yeah, save your strength in case you.
right?
Okay.
How's everybody swimming?
And so as you ask that and start to discuss, you kind of push yourself out, and from here it starts to take you. You can tell you're clearly heading towards like this bay by this tree. If since I interrupted you all, if you want to talk about your swimming, you're welcome to as you make your way there.
I'm looking mostly at Robert when I
Yeah.
ask how everyone's swimming is.
I was a sailor, so I can.
You're a
Oh,
I
sailor.
thought cats hate water.
You were a sailor?
I was also a sailor. I didn't know this about you.
What is going on here?
Yeah, I was looking for treasures. That's why I like treasure. I was looking for
Oh.
ancient artifacts, and we sailed across the sea. This is a lifetime ago. So,
As he's like, like it's been a long time. You feel the grit of the beach kind of hit the bottom of your boat as you stopped paying attention, and it took you straight up to this shore. Once it kind of puts you in position and you're standing there, you can see a clear cobblestone path up to a small opening in this large hill, similar to what you see. So there's a winding path that you can't see the path up to, but you can see its destination.
As we get off, I like put my hands on my knees, like breathe out. Like, Captain's like, comrades, I must come clean. I have never sailed before.
You were just using the wrong muscles and shit.
What? He's rowing with his feet or something? No one said anything this whole time.
We thought he knew what he was doing. I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna do it.
I'm very good at faking it until I make it.
It's all right, Captain. I remember my first time on the ship.
Well, I've been on a ship before. I've just never sailed. Question mark?
You were the captain.
I confused.
I
Captain, you have such a rich history.
Yes, I know. Thank you.
Anyway, so we're beached.
Yeah,
A path up to the mountain.
Well,
Captain, would you like to lead the
I-
way?
Yeah, Captain,
believe
per
I-
usual.
very well, comrades. I shall lead the way.
Robert, go behind him and pat him on the back. I got you. I got your back.
Millie remains in her spot somewhere in the middle.
In the middle. So good.
As you all take formation and start walking up this, it's a several. Honestly, when I think of it, I think of like the Hobbit, the movie, the scene where like they're going down the river in barrels, like that kind of landscape where it's like several dark, stony rocks making a zigzag pattern that like people could, obviously stand on top of the rocks, and you're just in this little lower path. Thankfully for you all, that doesn't happen. But as you're walking up, you notice like the way the current pushed you in this direction, so does the wind. You can feel the wind whipping up behind, kind of grabbing your hair and lifting it towards the sky as it hits you and falls up. And like you can even smell the like things associated with the coast, like some brushed up, like moss-like stuff that you're not sure if you want it to touch you or not whenever you're wading in. And you can smell this coming off as you make your way up. All of the nature around you seemingly pushing you in this direction. You come to the opening of this cave, to which is a thorny, interwoven like nest that leads into a dark abyss. Even for you, those of you that have dark vision, it's seemingly hard to peer into.
I don't like all this pointing, like
Point.
like telling myself where to go.
Weren't you raised in the Church of the God of the Wind?
Mm. Yeah, I think I had a CPR class with that. Still doesn't remember the name.
A CPU.
You only remember the name when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Such a long time ago.
Alder's brow is almost broken by how hard he's been over the past 24 hours. So are the thorns covering like the opening to the cave? Is that what's going on?
No, it's more like a semicircle of thorns into your opening. And they're large, like some of them longer than your body, sticking out. You don't see like a source or like a major tree like vessel. They are all seemingly commingled and collective. But yeah, you come to that and it's a dark opening.
Does it look similar to the shrine we were at earlier?
No, it's pretty different. Whereas that shrine had, collection boxes and like a monolithic kind of statue. This is isolated. Even the path to which you landed up on, you kind of notice what you feel out of luck. You think not everyone who lands there would see it. So it's a very different vibe.
I don't think this is a shrine, everybody.
Do we sense any kind of magic coming from the cave?
Sure. If you want to give me an Arcana check and maybe ask for something that you're specifically thinking of.
16. Kind of looking for the kind of magic that would indicate if like the kind of magic that would match the orb's magic.
Okay.
If it has been here or is inside the cave.
Yeah, so you said 16 or 15?
Yeah,
One of those
16.
two?
Yeah.
Cool. So with that, you're able to tell. You kind of think back again to the wind that's pushing you in this direction. You hear it entering the cave and echoing back this high-pitched whistle as it hits the many curves within the mountainside. And you're getting a strong sign of the old god, specifically you feeling the god of wind.
Hey, Kane. Hey, Kane. See, Howard's like snapping his finger in his face.
Yeah, I was off drifting off. Robert, what's
Your
up?
sword, God of Wind, we can sense this, right? It's like,
My sword?
yeah, isn't it? Have something to do with the God of Wind?
Oh,
I think it's just a soul trapped from another plane, if I remember.
Can you talk to it and ask it about this area, place? I don't
yeah. I'll hold it up.
That's it, though. I'm just gonna hold it up.
Let's pull it.
Grab it with both hands and put it in front of you.
Here it is.
Kind of tilted different directions, blade down, blade up,
Yeah.
to the side.
know. Can you talk to it?
Sword, Mr. Sword,
Mr. Sword.
Mr. Sword.
Senior Sword.
You may or may not see a orange flicker within its hue that surrounds it. But other than that, nothing currently.
I don't believe my sword is very talkative today.
We couldn't
Isn't it
tell.
about-
Is the opening between the thorns large enough for us to fit in?
Yeah, it's like a standard opening, and your standard hole in the wall.
You're standing on the wall.
I've seen some holes.
Well,
Like two people can walk shoulder to shoulder through it.
Ah.
Right.
do
Someone
that.
should definitely go through there. Or me. Maybe not me.
Yeah, it probably scares you since it is pretty
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah.
I mean, You know, Captain's pretty much waltzing right in as soon as you say that.
Robert, you can see in the dark too, right? Can't you help Captain lead
I'll-
the
I mean, I'll-
lead the charge?
Yeah, I'll be try my best, Captain. But you want to take the lead though, right, boss?
Yeah.
Right behind you, buddy. I'll pat your back. Yeah.
All right. Come,
He's just
comrade.
rubbing the back of his arm.
Yeah, now just the whole time. It's all right, buddy. Don't be
It's
scared.
all right.
It's okay.
Through these semi shenanigans, semi true to heart advancement, and with just a speed that you find yourself following Captain in, you walk through without taking much notice of transition from blunt stones to smooth stones to like a paved still stone blocks, not like manufactured, but like a paved full circle room you walk into. And again, what was rough dirt led to stone, led to an actual stone pavement. And you walk fully into this room before even really realizing it, just with the combination of speed and distraction.
Oh.
So let's
Oh.
pull you all in.
This place looks satanic.
Seemingly, as you walk in here, you feel the ground below you start to shake. For all of you, I'm on the wrong screen. Select. For all of you, you feel the ground start to shake, and in the middle of this circle, you see what's this, clockwise semicircles spiraling each other, fall down into the abyss, and what rises from within is a blue orb of about the dimensions of 3 feet. If you were to grab it hand to hand, would be 3 feet. What's double the radius? And
Diameter.
the height, I guess the height.
Oh.
This orb appears and falls within, seemingly at the same time. The door to which you came in, and now you're noticing is the only door in this room. A force field of blue takes over and is like a shield between you and the outside world.
The orb.
Uh oh.
All their points. As if we can't all see it.
Did we just end up separated like this? What is going on?
Robert wants to move forward towards that thing.
Okay. Yeah, you all can move your tokens if you'd like. So as you all move forward and you start to approach the orb, who's the first person to maybe like break this softer gray circle? Like, who's the first to like step in this region?
Well, we're the three of us. Why don't we just roll for it?
I'll say that I walked up to it as soon as I pointed it out, and I just
Alright.
went right to it.
That's fine.
And so on this, as you step forward into the threshold, quickly followed by the two of you, you feel this clack underneath your feet. Seemingly so, the complete in-lane gray circle that you're standing on has sunken in like 1 to 2 inches in the ground.
Robert wants to react and jump back off the platform.
Okay. give me like a athletics check for that. Or acrobatics, whichever you feel is most applicable.
The orb.
7.
Herb.
Hey guys,
Okay.
the orb.
You feel it fully sink into its reserve before you even think to step back. By the time you're back standing on the edge of the gray circle, you notice that the panel starts to just slowly rise back up, clicking back into its original space. Around the same time, you all kind of feel an unease. You look back towards the door that you came through, and on the other side of the blue barrier between you all is one of these individuals, seemingly so, the one who burst into flames in front of you, wearing a pristine blue cloak, just like the one he was wearing before the fight.
That
Arn!
fucking bastard.
I point at him as if we can't all see him as well.
The orb.
I'll also start walking towards him.
No, I'm not doing it. Learn my lesson last time.
And so this person kind of leans back and puts his hands up, grateful for the recognition. He puts both hands out towards you and says, I could not be any more luckier with you five. I was told that there were people pushing around, messing with my friends around this region, and that they may possess a certain kind of knowledge I need. So, thank you for coming to me. I much appreciate it. I would not like to go to you. There's
You're
a lot
welcome.
of, logistics of tracking. Thank you. Well,
Bastard.
as you know you're here, just get to it. Stand on the circles. I'll be gone. Don't even worry about me. Thank you.
Are you Glern?
He just kind of like keeps both hands up. It's like, yes. We met earlier, you might remember.
I remember.
I did this, and he bursts into flames, and then pops up like 5 feet to his right, next to you, or next to him. Sorry. He's like, remember?
Mm,
Who do you work for, Glern?
I really don't feel like talking. So if you would please just step on the circles, we can end this here. Your answers will be, answered. Okay, so just step on the circles.
Can I cast Hold Person on him?
Ooh.
Let's see what it says for that.
What is that? What does that barrier do?
Yeah, does the barrier prevent me from casting spells?
You can do an Arcana check on the barrier if you would like, really fast.
I got a 14.
Okay. You're unsure. I don't think you've seen anything like this barrier before, and so currently you're right in the middle. Like, it makes sense 50-50 either way. It could honestly be it lets magic through, it doesn't let magic through.
Robert was just gonna try to. Where's he at? In relation to you?
It's like,
So in this image, yeah, down by the blue and red circles, just on the other side of where your
Okay.
vision ends.
Okay. Well, Robert's just gonna fall.
Thank you. 2 more. You with the apron. You with the hair. Please just go.
with the badonka donk, sir.
You saw him point to either A, your ass, or B, your instrument, both of which are close to each other, and either A, not knowing the name for your instrument, or B, not knowing how to comment on your ass. Just chose to go with the hair.
we all know you're looking at my ass. I don't know if I want to step on this. What will happen if we step on this?
That's a
Tell
fair
me once
question.
you do it.
That's a fair question.
You do it.
Robert's gonna jump. Robert's jumping back off, dude.
Okay.
Yeah,
no,
take a step off.
Okay, I'm sorry. That was a bad answer. So, you all came into my establishment, failed to pay your taxes, and let me just teach you a tax-free lesson then. So, take a look around you. You can see the people who founded this town. Each of them, great. Each of them, amazing. Cool, whatever. They are super into themselves. You can see several things. One of those individuals there, right there, behind you, with the white, the elf. What's your name?
Don't you ask what his name is.
I want to refer. Okay,
It's none of your business what my name is.
You, the
He's
white
really
elf
reluctant to tell people his name.
from, what's your town called? Terrell?
How would he know?
Well, he's like, you, the Tyrillian, the snow elf, the whatever you want to be called, behind you.
What do you know about Tyrell?
As you sprint
He ran
across,
so fast.
do you touch the barrier at all?
No, I'm not
Okay.
touching
So
that.
you just go and get super close to the barrier, and he's like, okay, well, anyway, over here, you have a better vantage point. That's fine. Turn around, you see the dude. He's carrying a giant ass hammer, scythe, but on his side he has a hammer. He was one of the first builders. We put the first nail into whatever. That you might have known that these people just keep artifacts and talk about their town and boast. Meanwhile, they have this beauty thing right here between you all. If you could just observe it on the stone, that is all I need for you to observe.
Talking about the orb?
Yeah, well, that's what's going to happen. You ask for an outcome. When you stand on the circles, you will observe beauty.
Why don't you want to stand on the circle?
Yeah.
I would, but there's this thing between you and me. So if you wouldn't mind, it's really your only way out.
What do we get out of this?
I guess to leave.
Well, I don't know. It's kind of comfy in here, guys.
I just take a seat.
Lily says in a small voice, "I'm uncomfy."
Alder's trying to play hardball, and he's just not very good at it.
I will be honest with you. We came for this ceremony for the god of the wind. The god of the wind, as you know, their demigod has been silent. And if 5 people with magic ability are able to own the orb, then you can find the demigod. It will rain out, and you can find who they are so that they can once again speak. I have an interest to find this person to talk about our religious differences. So, since not many people in this world have magic ability, and you 5 stumble into my abode to stifle me, I would like you, with your abilities, to step into the circles so I can find my friend.
Find your friend.
Your friend?
we
Weren't you
do
just
a-
talking about how much you hated the wind god when you were boasting about your water god?
Well, you know, childhood friends. Okay, so we were friends, and then religion got in the way. We wanna talk it out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can we do a... He can't get through the barrier, guys. Everybody come over here. Let's do a group huddle.
I can hear you totally fine.
He can't hear us. He cannot hear us.
Get out of here.
I see what you're doing,
You don't
but
know?
it's not on the stone circles. If you could just walk right in that direction.
Robert, come here.
Robert sneaks over.
Sneaks over. Crouches down.
Alright, slinks over, sorry. Do. He's just not inconspicuously.
All right, Cap,
up?
are you sure you don't know anything about this orb?
No,
You don't remember anything
I mean,
from your schooling or your
From your
childhood.
CPR
Like,
class?
can you reach deep into your CPR class?
could I do a check?
Sure. So if you're not super aware of your religion, it's gonna give you a higher DC, just so you know. So if you want to do, I would say, a religion check, you could see how you know.
Okay. Gotcha.
So maybe, you know, with your understanding of DC checks on your knowledge of religion based on your background, what do you think that would be? Like a 15, 12, something like that?
Yeah, probably like 15.
Give me a religion check.
Dude, I got a 15.
No.
I have a +3 to religion. I rolled a 12.
Oh,
So you think way back, and seemingly to what you think is your CPR class.
We're watching him sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can see his eyes flicker back to like memory after memory after memory, and like
Yeah.
just this pure amount of thinking on task. You're feeling this.
It's like a slide.
And so you have this faint memory of back when the gods themselves were active and vocal, that people could bestow their wishes through these magical icons at several select temples, which have ceased since the gods are now silent. Their demigods have kind of waned, and they no longer do super cool stuff. They're pretty off the beaten path. You thought all of these objects were gone, and so this may be one of these past objects to talk directly to the gods. And
So-
probably it's likely through their demigod first.
So this orb connects directly to the demigod. I guess it's not active unless magic users use it. Why does he need us?
This is dangerous, you guys. This is where I come from is rumored to be built on top of one of these temples. The same thing for our demigod of the god of the harvest, and no one's been able to find it in years. They're afraid that people would ask for all of their children and their family to be bestowed with the same magic that myself and my sister were given. Maybe this was hidden away for a reason.
Robert's just I mean, loves the idea of discovery, so he's going to say, why, though? Why don't we share this information?
Feel
What
like-
do we have besides?
I guess
Well, if we activate this thing, the 5 of us are going to be
gonna release something.
guaranteed to protect it, basically. Like,
Something
we're going to be
in the
responsible for it.
Sure, that's a noble act, I feel like. Robert says, he's like,
What if we step on the things and then whatever happens, and then the door goes down and we just beat the shit out of this guy?
Yeah, I look over at Glern. And I
You know
go,
what?
bitch.
Mark kind of rolls his shoulder, puts his hands up, is like, I can, like, wording to you, I can still, I hear you.
Yeah, we'll hear this, bitch.
Captain, I gotta say, that's probably the best idea that I've heard all day.
All right.
Let's do
Doesn't
it.
look like
Has
we have much
anybody else
choice.
had any ideas that they're upset about? Oh, I thought I should lead the group, but apparently that's not the best.
I don't want to give this guy the satisfaction of doing this, but I also want to find out what's up.
Right. I don't think we have much choice either, so.
We can't get out, so.
Alabon.
All right. Fuck
Rock
you,
and roll.
Glern. We all put our
All
middle
right.
fingers up as we step
Middle
on.
finger.
Middle fingers
You
up.
gotta flick this dude off, and seemingly as you're looking at your hand, there's this blue stream of energy seeping from each of you into this orb. In the middle of the room, you kind of see this this filter basically switching so that it's permeating from the orb, captures you, passes over you, and goes all the way up to the end of this circle. As it passes you, it turns to black and white, and your attention is drawn fully in on the orb. For you all, the orb kind of seems like a imagine the typical black and white spiral to kind of hypnosis you in. This spiral like effect turns into a vision for each of you, and seemingly while you're in these visions, you are going to take place of who they are embodying. And so each of you have a collective action, but you all feel as if you're in these person's shoes, and you feel their emotions and have access to their memories.
That's cool.
So with this first vision that comes up, we are on the outskirts of like a desert hill. We're walking up through the field to a collection of tents. Again, for a reference, if you think of Mulan, whenever she first gets to the training camp, just tents along the rising sand dune, back down towards the other bank. Seemingly 2 hills over, you see a larger, more sturdier tent has actual like concrete into the ground, wood holding up. You feel this sense of warmth as you are looking forward to seeing your father after returning from deployment. You are thinking of your duties towards the position you're holding. You are currently Second Lieutenant Kane, serving in the Provone Army, and you're just looking forward to get to your father's, who's like two hills over. Your friend who has been through deployment with you comes up and asks you, so Kane, what are you doing now that we're back? And again, you all are kind of a collective in this memory, but perhaps if you want to work with whoever person it represents, but then you can also like probe for more memories as a whole.
Kane, who is this? Why do I feel like I know him?
Is this one of my childhood friends?
Yeah. So this is your friend Steven. He's been, similar to you, a high-ranking father who put him through the rain to join the Provone army, and yeah, Steven's been with you since you were children.
No. I guess I'll just tell him. Oh, I was just looking forward to doing some more training and catching up with my dad a bit. See what he's up to.
Yeah, Well, I was talking to a buddy of mine over by the watering hole, and he said your dad found this battle just off the coast, and um, brought back some weapons that seemed pretty unique for him. I'm sure he'd love to show you. He always loves showing off his stuff for you.
There's some new weapons.
Yeah, they so there was this abandoned battle site. There was um suits of armor laying around. There were weapons on the floor. No blood, no bodies. And honestly, with what they equip us nowadays, I would take a blade even if it's a little rusted from being in the rain. Um, and so some of them, a select few of these had something. Honestly, I don't know. But yeah, your dad's taking a look at them. He kind of looks at most artifacts in here.
Have you seen them yet? The artifacts?
No, I was going to stop by. I'm gonna go see my rents. So I don't know. Tell your dad, and he's kind of pointing off in the distance, as he's trying to give sentiment to your father. You see this purple spiral happen within the tent, in the background. The
Fuck.
tent then collapses in on itself, and like flames of this spiral go up towards this light, and then an explosion happens from as the spiral dissipates from the tent.
Fuck.
Um,
It's shout
the
father.
the echo ring, yeah, the echo of the ring hits
Father.
you as you do this.
Can I sprint towards it, I guess?
Yeah.
Daddy.
Daddy. Father.
So as you get up to this tent up at the top, you are able to pull away the entrance, which is the part that collapsed, and enter where he was. All you see, instead of anything other than his standard workshop, is charred earth and fragments of metal on the ground. Throughout his quarters, his study, all of it, you can't see him or anybody else in the tent.
What happened here? Just kind of wander around and look at the remains, I guess. What the hell was that? Can I?
Yeah. So
Can I look?
do you wanna?
Can I call out for my dad again? Father, Daddy, Daddy, Daddy,
Major Kane.
Major, yeah.
Can I roll a daddy check?
Yeah. So with you not seeing and you calling out, is there anything that kind of resonates within you that through this connection the other people would feel, or know of? Like, is there a memory that, or some emotion that this kind of stems for you?
Of emotion, like
with you having this seemingly neural link between your four friends here, sharing this memory is an insight into you. Is there anything else that's essential for them to feel at this time?
Like, what are you feeling?
I guess kind
You
of
would feel?
maybe like regret that I didn't get there fast enough, or like that I couldn't see what happened.
So this feeling of regret kind of takes over all of you, and if I may as well, Jeremy, let me know if I go too far, but you can also feel this like internal fire spark within you, and now the fire you feel is large. Like, you kind of have this meta out-of-body experience where like you're seeing yourself in today's world, where this fire that has seemingly grown to a larger size is the willingness and desire to protect others.
Yes.
And
That's what I meant.
like you have this desire of wishing you could be there faster, and that you won't basically be put in this position again.
Right.
And that regret that comes over you leads you into a different swirl that takes you to a different vision. Still in black and white, you find yourself looking at this gravel path in front of you, looking up and seeing the shade-covered forest as you walk out of it. You identify and you realize that you're now embodying Millie as you're walking out of the forest. You feel inside, knowing that this is your first and last time, your first time stepping out this direction, and it'll be your last time ever going back in the near future. Um, as you're leaving this forest, you see visions of everything you loved back at your hometown as you're leaving it. Millie, what are some things that you loved doing in your childhood?
So I really enjoyed exploring the forest. There was a shrine that my family kind of took care of, and I really enjoyed learning from the fairies that kind of took care of that shrine. Especially with my parents, we all kind of did it together because this was a big family thing. I was always learning about, the different animals and definitely the different plants that grew around and in the forest, and it became just kind of second nature to me, a second home.
Yeah, and so for this, as you're stepping out, and each step onto the gravel road you're taking gets saturated more and more by light. Each time your eyes have to adjust to the sunlight coming through. You see the images of those fairies, you see the images of the shrine that you took care of. And as you step into a clearing just outside the forest, you kind of feel those memories sever and disconnect from you. Still present, as in you know they're there, but you feel a disconnect from the warmth that was at your home. And as you step into this clearing, it's really a sad moment for you. Is there anything as you leave your hometown and set out, Millie, that would be also shared with your connected pals?
Um, they can just get a sense that this was kind of the defining moment that really kind of spurred me to finding my way back home. I kind of made it my mission to get back to the forest and back to that shrine that I loved. I felt like I was kind of being ripped away from home, and they're kind of getting a sense that this is where my passion comes from, to get back home.
Um, and with that passion, um, that you're stepping away from, um, is there, let's see here. So with that, your passion kind of resembles the same essence, but it switches you to a different location. And we switch over to us sitting at not like a bar as in like a tavern, but a bar as in like where you can actually sit at, in a nice establishment. You notice you're now representing Orion in this vision. As you take a drink, Orion, from your mom, she's sitting directly across from you. Um, and your memories persist of your training that you had to undergo as you were working with your aunt. Is there anything you want to describe for, the memories within this memory of what you're thinking about with regards to your aunt and your trainings?
Yeah, so I remember this very distinctly. It was the night right before my coming of age performance. I had essentially been training all of my life for this. My father was a human and I was a bastard, and so my aunt, who had taken care of me, had told me, this is your one chance to prove yourself, to, try to prove yourself as a member of the Fensei family. And my mom, who had been traveling for, years essentially performing, had come home to share a drink with me and talk about how excited she was for my performance the next day. And you guys feel this like warm, kind of nervous and scared energy all mixed together. You start to feel like that kind of nervous anticipation as he, sips at his drink.
Um, And the last thing that kind of seemingly comes from all of your mouths as a collective, as you're in this memory, is you're having this conversation that's a blur with your mother, and then it turns into you saying, "I won't disappoint the family." Um, you kind of take a step back, even within your like astral form, as you see her kind of look to her drink, tap her glass 2 times, and just kind of shrug and say, "Well, we'll see." Um,
Damn.
from this
Damn,
moment,
Mom.
it cuts it cuts over to darkness, to where you're standing on the edge of an abyss, looking out into the empty crowd of the room you've filled and booked for your performance. The only person standing in this performance hall is your aunt. As she walks up to you, you feel what would you feel in that moment as she first walks up to you in this?
I think Orion feels the most crushing sense of despair because this moment that he's standing in should have been the moment where he had performed, but he didn't wake up in time and he missed his own performance.
Ooh.
And he has a suspicion that that drink that he shared with his mother might have had something to do with it, but he looks at his aunt's face and just feels nothing but despair.
And as she comes up without saying anything, looks at you, slaps you across the face, and leaves without a word. What
Oh my god.
feeling
Jesus.
is here that you also
I feel it.
share
Oh my god.
with your friends if you want to sum it up?
I think this is probably Orion's lowest point because this was his one chance, the thing that he had originally his whole life's goal, trying to be a part of this family, you know, because he wanted so badly to fit in. And her slapping him across the face, I think after years of abuse and relentless training and insults, you know, being called a bastard, being called nothing, it's in this moment that he decides that there's nothing to live for. And it's that clarity that kind of rings out with him realizing there's no point in him being alive if he can't be part of this family.
With that disparity, the swirl takes that image away from you. And seemingly, this swirling doesn't stop as you find yourself on the edge of your boat looking out towards the sea. You now realize you're in Robert's shoes, to which, as you're looking out into the distance over the ocean, your first mate, Tristan, comes up to you. He reports, all sails are down. The men are bunkered below deck. Are you sure you want to take first watch out here?
It's my ship, yes.
And he kind of just gives you a silent nod and goes below deck. Over the next few minutes, you see this storm appear before you. The darkness takes over and lightning striking in the distance. How do you feel about this as you move in?
Uneasy, but you know, hoping for the best here.
And as this stroke of optimism hits you, you see a spark of light appear just before your eyes. The thunderclap that hits your chest at the same time takes the breath out of you. You notice your mast falling towards you, everything on fire, as seemingly you've just been struck by lightning.
Yeah.
The next memory and flash that it takes you to is a tornado twist of bubbles that are escaping from you as you fall below the sea line. You look down frantically and you see Tristan as well as several other your crew members. You see half of your ship falling below the ocean as you kick up towards the open waters. Um, what else do you feel or do you think would be shared at this moment with your friends?
Um, Robert just kicks to the surface, trying to get his head above water first, and he's trying to look around for his mates, his ship crew, and he's not even seeing anyone really. He water, and he's frantically searching, and he's giving up hope, and he's getting tired. He's about to lose, you know, all his energy and slip into the water like he thinks his crew did. And then he sees out of the corner of his eye, you know, thunder flash, a piece of scrap from the ship floating, and it's just big enough and sturdy enough for him to rest himself on it. And so that's you know, that's what happened there. And just trying to stay alive.
And with this feeling of trying to stay alive no matter the odds against you, we flash to Alder. You find yourself observing your sister spar with your trainer.
No.
Looking in like a typical training way.
That's fine.
As they're sparring, their training transitions to a more fine-tuned technical part, and your trainer, he is asking her to make these magic crystals, a shard of ice that kind of forms around you. She needs to work on her defenses. He's telling her as I don't have a good example for you, but just think of like the rubies in Zelda, where like those green or red rubies. He basically wants her to form a shield of those 360 degrees around her. As she does this in striking beauty, you see that each crystal is perfectly formed so that not even an arrow could get through a gap within that shield, except for one. There's one shield that one part of her shield that's kind of askew, and you see your mentor go up and touch it and shatter as the shield around her shatters. One of the shards of ice cutting across her cheek and tearing in, and as she's bleeding, and he comes up and starts poking her on the side of the head. Think, Leanna, you're not thinking, and starts to wind back to hit her across the face. In this, you feel. Would you like to describe how you feel?
Just anger and frustration and hopelessness because it's been like this for so long, and he's so abusive, but he does bring the best out of her, and yet he never lays off. He's always pedal to the metal, like everything has to be perfect, and even though she does things nearly flawlessly, it's never enough to satiate him.
And as you're thinking this and reflecting on your experience, he indeed goes across and strikes your sister across the face, knocking her to the floor. In this, you feel this rage come against you, and everything fades to white, starting specifically with your mentor. All that you wake up to is you feeling the sun reflecting off the snow. You realize you awaken in the wasteland in an open field, seeing in the distance your hometown. And what would you say you feel and the other people feel in this moment for you?
Am I aware of all the events that transpired that led me here?
Yeah, so this is in your backstory, you waking up, and like what you take away from waking up
Okay.
outside your town.
Well, I was just trying to protect my sister, you know, and lost control and dispensed some unjust justice and accidentally killed our master, of who had been abusing us and specifically her for so long. Even though she put on basically a perfect ascension ritual, which is something we do at the end of our schooling, she just had one little flaw at the very end where like a piece of hair fell from her braid in front of her face, and that was enough to set him off. And he went after her ruthlessly, and I lost control and killed him. And then when I woke up, passed out from exhaustion, the council that was there to judge the event must have taken me way out and turned their backs on me, which essentially means that I was exiled. So at this point, I'd be feeling obviously a lot of remorse for, just her being associated with me could have gotten her locked away or worse. And I really won't know, because if I go back to town, they'll either kill me on site or lock me up as well. So all I can do is, leave and head south and try and get control of my abilities so this doesn't happen again, and hopefully go back and save her from whatever fate happened after this.
And with this goal of saving, your vision kind of pulls back, and you find yourself sitting in you're sitting in a room, and then the vision kind of pulls away from you. Through this, you come back and step back into your own distinct bodies, and you are back and realizing that this blue stream is coming from you towards the orbs. Longing to look and see where and what's happening with these memories and with your essence coming from your body, you look deep into this orb and you see the faintest crack inside. After a second, it kind of doubles and spreads throughout, and this orb shatters and goes into every direction across. You also feel similar to Alder's sister being hit by the shards from her shield. You feel these cut and rip across your skin, leading you to bleed. The blue shield in the background of this room even fades down as the person who was watching you steps in. And so Glern is walking into this room. He puts his arm up, and as he does this, the shards hit him, and it pulls you back into this vision, leading you back into this living room where you are sitting in a pretty nice wooden room with furniture, rugs laying about, and sun coming through the window to which you're sitting by. You're sitting there kind of twirling with your hair, tapping your claws on the table, and looking across as a small music box is playing in the back of the room. It's playing a nice uplifting beat that's pretty familiar for you as your your basically mother, the person who's been looking after you for a while. She makes and designs music box and always has a nice tune within her house. Um, your sister, your adoptive sister, comes up and is asking you for a pop quiz of all the elements. She's like, please, quiz me again, Vilthread, please. And so you kind of begrudgingly like, all right. Why is the ground made of earth? And she kind of chimes back, because the earth is more giving than the other elements needed for their delicacy in life. And you nod in approval, as you also notice that your mom is kind of walking through with some freshly baked goods. In this near perfect scenario, um, something feels adjunct as it's disrupted, where a rock comes flying through the window you're sitting by, hits you upside the face, and falls in your lap. Within it is a note tied to it, and it says, "Take this fire god to hell with you." Um, you go to look up and look out the window where this came from, only to see the entire town seemingly gathered below your house as they throw Molotov cocktails into your home. As you watch your family burn alive, you're the last one to fade out, and you awake seemingly unknown amount of time later, restored in a field with no burns, no nothing. Um, as this happens and this last vision fades from you, you all feel socially exhausted. You feel like it was taken from you as all this tragedy is flashed before your eyes. Also, seemingly so, you this explosion knocks it all out of you, and you're not sure where you are in space and time anymore. You're not sure if you're in one of these visions or if you're back on this plane that you started on. All you know is, seemingly ages later, you wake up in the middle of a field with nothing but tree lines around you. Um, so yeah, so you all are in the middle of a field, slowly coming to as you all come together.
What?
Not in this dungeon anymore.
Correct.
Oh my.
Can you transport us somewhere else? I'm confused.
Can't use his mind's eye. What the fuck was that?
Last
Were we-
vision?
Were we just drugged?
Was that last vision? Do you think that was Glurn's vision?
I think that was.
It must have been.
I think that was.
I recognize the rest of you.
Yeah.
Jesus, we got some fucked up backstories.
We got some baggage. Alder goes over and just hugs Orion. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. let's just get a group hug in.
Like you're.
Vines are a little bit awkward. Everybody
Yeah.
bring it in.
It's fine. It's
I
fine.
think-
We had our deepest, darkest secrets just out for everybody.
We've been half-assed telling the story, and now it just all came out.
Oh my god.
I think Orion's red in the face with embarrassment and anger. And is Glurn in this field with us?
No, it's just you all.
What the
Do we
fuck?
have the orb? Does anybody have the orb?
think it exploded.
Oh,
Yeah, it broke.
okay.
Do we have the cuts all over us?
You do, yeah. Yeah, even some of you have some like blue fragments that you can like kind of flake off you and pull out of your wounds and shit.
Robert's just long staring off into.
Yeah, that was. Where the hell are we? I get disconnected.
All the time. And I don't care how long you sleep.
Alder, can I tell you all the truth?
Sure.
Oh, okay. I get back.
Oh,
Yeah,
And,
of course.
I hate playing music. I hate it with every fiber of my being. I hate it so much.
My God.
I'm legitimately taken aback.
I am
Yeah.
Like meta
I am shocked.
and also in game.
Yeah. Robert's confused. He says, "But you're a bard."
Millie elbows him. Don't judge.
All my life, all I've done is learn how to play music, and it's brought me nothing but pain.
You don't have to play anymore.
What do you like to do?
I don't know. I don't know. All I know how to do is play music, like this.
Well, we'll find you some more hobbies. We can find you a hobby.
I think first we need to find our way out of this place. Where are we?
Right.
Yeah, you right. You
I
right.
have no idea where we are.
That's some of my questions too.
What are the others?
Do we see anything as we look around?
Yeah, so you let me pull up my map.
I need to BRB.
Okay.
Captain, what's wrong?
His eyes are blank as he stares past you.
Zoned out.
Robert, I'm surprised that you would still want to go out on the water after what happened to you.
I don't know. It's just in my. I want to say my blood. I just love the thrill of adventure. But I have not been back on the water since that day. But it calls me.
Millie, what was the connection that your family had with the Grove?
Oh, my family has been taking care of that shrine of the old gods for millennia, and it was so sad. Um, it was a very difficult decision for my parents to move us to the city, but because things had just been getting so dangerous out in the middle of the forest, they felt like they had to do it. But I was heartbroken, and I can't wait to get back there one day.
Millie, you've mentioned before that your mother was sick. Did that have something to do with the Grove?
No, she got sick after we moved to the city. It At first we all thought that it was just a weird maybe she was just depressed from moving um out of our hometown into kind of this bigger city. But then other people in the town started getting sick as well. And so it's affected a lot of my new hometown, I guess. And that's kind of why I started going on this adventure, was to find a cure for it. And I'm hoping that these mushrooms will be able to help once I finally get back there. I haven't seen her in months, or anybody, so I don't know how she's doing or if she's still alive.
I'm back. Sorry, I was spacing out.
As he does.
Let's see here.
It's getting deep, you guys.
Jeremy, you didn't ask something before. The last thing that I was waiting on is you were asking what's around you.
Yeah.
And so within this, you notice not a lot of like structures that are guiding for you. You're in a receding of several hills, so you're kind of in between several hills, so you can't see past your horizon. But what you can see is on one side, presumably your west, you see mountains off in the distance, and then you may feel a slight breeze coming from the north, indicating some water as well. So you think you're somewhere around the Banty kills, but you don't really know for sure.
Hold on, the Banty kills?
We went pretty far.
Where's that? Oh, that's so far away.
Do you all smell salt water?
How did we get here?
Is that where we're getting, like ocean water, Pretty?
Yeah.
I guess we should start heading.
Are we? Can I like pat myself down? Am I like missing anything on my body?
Is there something you're worried about?
The fuck did Blurn take? God damn it.
No, you have everything. Yeah, not even Kane has to teleport his sword. It comes with you.
Oh, thank God! I still have my 25 gold piece.
Can I climb one of the nearby hills and do a perception to see where we are on the map?
Sure. Yeah.
Can I slap myself to make sure I'm awake?
Can I slap Kane?
Okay. So yeah, you climb a hill, and you actually do see you recognize Mount Ran, which is the tallest mountain around here, and you can see it to your southwest. And so you're very confident that you're. Oh my God, I'm fucking clicking on Discord as it fits over here. You're very confident you're over in the Banty Hills. And once you climb a little bit higher, sure enough, you can see the remnants of a town and a quarry off to your north and northwest.
I look back down at the group and I go, Bantique!
Antique. Polo.
I definitely follow him if he's going to be in.
Yeah, I guess we.
Is anybody from? I forget.
I am. I'm like, oh no.
Oh, shit.
No, we're going to hometowns.
Hometowns.
And you all kind of recognize, like, almost as if that connection hasn't yet failed, that this is the hometown of Orion.
I went to University State to get away.
Mid-Tera U Banty campus.
And so now that you realize you're on the edge of Mantique and Orion, you kind of realize you're there, so you start to look the other way. On the exact other side, across the hills, back down towards, if you see on here, a gate of Mountain Valley, down towards that way as well. Good far away. You see a speck that might be a house, or like literally the only other structure other than Bantique. And so you're torn of like, do you go to civilization or do you get the fuck away from your hometown and go to that isolated building?
Orion, this is up to you.
Have I traveled through this area? Wait, am I looking at the gate of the mountain valley or the
You're currently like up here.
Okay.
And yeah, the next structure is on the other side towards the gate of Mountain Valley.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure how much information we can get out of some small town. I have connections in Bantique that we might be able to see if they have any answers, but
I think I've got some questions for your mother.
Good luck trying to reach her. That's what I'd like to know. God, I can't believe you saw that. I'm so embarrassed. Literally, one of my most disgraceful moments.
We are here for you. I don't think any worse of you.
I mean, with all respect, fuck your mom.
Yeah.
So,
well.
And where's Daddy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a sore subject. You see Orion's face darken immediately.
Once we get some drinks in us, then we can revisit.
Does Bantique have a bar? Yeah.
Yeah, can we go there and find a bar or an inn? That'd be great.
Yeah, I think we should make our way there.
My ass
to the
is
small
whooped.
one or Bantique?
Let's. Ooh, which one is closer, Brody?
I would say they're both about the same distance. It's just that you'll have to cross the hills to get to the isolated structure.
Okay, got it. I think we might want to head towards Bantique.
If you're okay with it.
Yeah, it's up to you.
I think I want answers.
Okay.
Vengeance!
Alright.
We love that.
Alder got a little pep in his step right there because he wants some fucking answers too. He's tired of this shit.
I don't like being
Orbs and stuff.
teleported.
No, I'm not Kane's sword. Just teleport me wherever.
You can't
see-
just take me one place and put me in another place.
You see Kane's just looking up into the sky like with it's like that meme with all the numbers going through the head of like how the hell did we get here?
So we're off.
And we're off.
Okay.
All right, Banty.
Oh, yeah. As you all crest the last hill, making your way down towards the levee land, you see a coal-stricken quarry off to your left with a main grooved-in path towards this coastal town. Orion, do you want to describe what your hometown looks like from here, or if there's anything else you want to share?
Yeah, so I think Bantique, I think we talked about this during our first session, not to get meta, but or our Q&A session. So Bantique is kind of a capital for culture. So it's one where it's one of those like kind of bustling towns where, you know, there's always some sort of art or performance. It's where like nobles go to kind of, you know, get entertained and everything. But I'd like to think that there's also like kind of a very clear like class divide where, you know, like just across the neighborhood is like the most like little shanty houses and stuff like that.
Yeah, so this is the vibe that you walk into. We will leave you all here as you make your way towards this road, heading into Bantique for next time.
Nice.
Antique or bust.
Bantique or bust,
baby.
Damn, kids.
Damn.
What the fuck? We got some problems.
Oh my god.